Hello again, Terrace Popp with another episode from the Lair. And to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I probably should have put the red shirt on because I'm gonna say some pretty awful shit, and some people are gonna be pretty upset. But what I'm gonna tell them is basically the brutal truth. Now, I've already done an episode, Where Have All the Good Men Gone? That was a Friday episode of Redonkulas. Somebody sent me this other article from the Daily Mail from the UK, basically another one, Where Have All the Good Men Gone? I mean, that one title seems to be bouncing around out there in the mainstream media, and people just aren't picking up on it, of what it truly is, except for me. I'm going to respond to this article when I get done with this rant. But when I got this, it hit me like 3 in the morning when I was, up plotting to take over the world like I always do every night. That this title that keeps popping up, Where Have All the Good Men Gone? Is a warning sign for the upcoming spinster bubble that's going to pop here in about 7 to 10 years. Don't worry, I've already made that episode. I thought that up on the spot, and that will be a mainstream Friday episode. But that one's going to be brutal also, and a lot of women are going to be pretty upset with me, and I don't fucking care. You got to hear the truth. I'm not boiling it down. I'm not diluting it with political correctness, because in my eyes, political correctness is lying by another name. And I am not a good liar. I am not really good at deceit, and that's just the way it is. So anyway, in this article, they mentioned a Lucy Werner, age 46, Leslie Roberts, age 52, Laura Hall, age 42, and Jane Townsend, age 48. I believe they mentioned a couple other women in there also. They weren't pictured in the beginning of the article, because I'm assuming they weren't in there because they're average looking, or they really look like the wall stomped all over their ass. These particular women came out the back end of the wall. They still look wall weary, and they're all beat to shit, and they've been painted up and lacquered. They look okay, I guess, for middle-aged women. And I was going to go through each and every one of them and systematically just destroy them all. But it would be basically doing the same thing over and over again, and I don't know. I got better things to do with my time. So basically, these women are bitching about looking for men that are similar to them, or finding their other half, which is quote-unquote worthy. Now, some words that they were throwing around in this article were active, good shape, articulate, emotionally open. And they also use this one word, but only twice, and you really had to be listening for it, because the way it was written, it wasn't really a main point. It was more like it had to be mentioned, but it was moved off to the side, and it's kind of like a magician saying, don't look at what's really happening, focus on this. Solvent. The word solvent came up. Yes, solvent. And not something that dissolves shit. More like somebody who had money. Yes, that kind of solvent. They also mentioned athletic a few times. Quote unquote, one of them was no pot belly. Well, if you're going to make requests like the man better not or should not have a pot belly, then how about you don't have any soggy ass tits? Or a saggy ass. Gravity's a bitch, and it works both ways. So by the time you start bitching about a dude with a pot belly who's 50 some odd years old and probably had a hard life, it happens, you might want to shut your mouth and take a look at your own, sun-cooked beagle ears that are hanging and flapping around on the front of your goddamn fat-ass belly that, may or may not be there from the baby fat you accumulated 3 decades ago, and you're still saying that it's baby fat. So shut the fuck up. I made a video about that. Excuses for being fat. Get up to speed on that subject. Okay, now let's go through this emotionally open bullshit. Men of that age category, let's see, 55 to 45, men of that age usually are not emotionally opened because they've been divorced and destroyed by the system, and that also helps to alleviate them of the problem of being solvent, because they may or may not be paying alimony and or child support and or college for children, which the courts can make you pay for now. It's a new thing, I guess. These women are bitching that feminism has devastated these dudes to the point when they get to their middle ages, they're devastated, emotionally dead, and not solvent. And then they're going to bitch about that. That's quite interesting. Let's just put that into perspective. So you shoot yourself in the left foot and then bitch about being shot in the right foot because the bullet ricocheted from the left foot and hit the right foot. And you did it to yourself. Wow! Wow! Alright, here's another one here. All but one of these women, they got divorced. I don't know the details, but I'm going to make some assumptions. And I'm doing this because I've seen the same thing play out over and over again. They get stuck in the I can do better mindset, or the grass is always greener. The guy I'm with is my husband. Never mind the fact that, he forked out the money for the rings, forked out money for the wedding and the honeymoon, stood in front of his entire family, friends, and God knows everyone to say he was going to take care of you till the day you fucking die, or he was going to be there until he at least died. And then you divorce the guy, thinking that you're going to find that same level of commitment down the road, or you can do better. And for a large majority of these women out there, I'm not going to say all of them, because people still win the lotto. They call it the redneck retirement for a reason. They think they're going to do better with resources that are worn out and old. I'm sorry. I'm just not seeing it. And, and they wrote this article to try to milk sympathy for these women, which I refuse to give any. They did it to themselves. Even the one lady in here who got married at 19 and was married for 30 years, then her husband left her. And then the next few sentences down, she says, then she decided to get healthy and lose weight. Case in point, he probably told you up front several times that you're getting fat. You probably didn't take him serious. You didn't hear what he had to say. And you thought because, if he divorces me, I'm going to call his bluff and I'm going to hit him with alimony. I'm going to take all his shit. I'm going to ruin his fucking life so he can't afford to fucking dump me and get rid of me and get something younger. In most cases, you would be correct. But that begs to differ this one question. How horrible of a person must you be for a man to actually say, you know what? Losing half my shit, almost living in the poorhouse, and I get to jettison this piece of fat shitbag bitch? It's fucking worth it. There you go. Well, Jesus Christ. Okay, and then I was reading through what these women had to say, and I saw a lot of two-pickyitis going on, with a lot of no dickitis, or dickitis of the ear canal, meaning they're fucked in the head. They're living in some dream world. They really are. This is like a repeat of the Prince Charming syndrome when they were fucking 18 to 24. They're looking for a dude with money, who's athletic, in shape, articulate, emotionally open, and doesn't have a pot belly. Do you think that man is going to roll up on a middle-aged, dried-up hag who's already in menopause? Do you think that's going to fucking happen? No! It's not going to happen. You're lucky if you even get one 50-50 offer. That's it. It's over for you. Prince Charming is not coming, or at least a reasonable facsimile of Prince Charming showed up in your life. You stabbed him in the back, or you treated him like shit, and you ran his ass off. And now here you are, whining and complaining about how you can't find a good man. And granted, these middle-aged women, for the most part, as middle-aged women go, are fairly attractive. But I made a bunch of videos about this already. Middle-aged mileage, check that one out. Rules of the game. Fun with Numbers 1 and 2, where I systematically, by the numbers, dissect these women's lives, and I predicted the exact same phenomena. That when a man gets to about 50, and if he's fit in good shape and has a little bit of money under his belt, he can dive down there and he can pull ass late 20s, hell, middle 30s, all day long. The women are still pretty juicy up to about 33. The looks start to drop off after 32, though, so it is what it is. Rule of thumb, a woman will lose 1 point in looks every 7 years after the age of roughly 25. So at 25, if she's a 9, count off 14 years after that, she's a solid 7 if she didn't pull a pin on the fan grenade. So check out that video too. I mean, all of the earlier videos on Redonkulas.com, I mathematically dissect this phenomena. You just got to get up to speed on it, gentlemen. What I'm seeing in this article is a whole lot of non-realistic with the side of, I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. Ah, man. So, you know, what this article is basically talking about is the post-apocalypto of the wall. You know, what these women in their lives turn into after they get hit they get hit by the wall at like 80 miles an hour. It's not pretty on the other side. It's not pretty at all. You're seeing a lot of these women who bought into this whole feminism bullshit. You know, I don't need a man. I'm a woman, hear me roar. Everything you can do, I can do better. Except die on the job, balance a checkbook, and kill yourself. That's just some dark humor there. But yeah, you're finding out when you get in, you know, the post-wall years that shit ain't free. It's not fun. And 45 to 80 is a long fucking time by yourself, huh? You know, when you read the article, they're actually talking to professional dating coaches who are flat out telling these women, go for men 15 years older than you. You know, 45, you know, 60, 62, 65. That's unacceptable. They want a man their age. Well, some of them, I mean, one of these women here is a hot blonde in her early 40s. She likes younger men. And yes, younger men will, you know, they will go up to that tier and they will hit that. But they're not thinking relationship. You know what they're thinking about? Practice. Yep. Because if they can wine and dine and 69 you, and they can satisfy you, they're cleaning up their game to jump back down 20 years and go after something they want to marry and have a family with. And you helped them do it, so good on you. Here's another common bitch across this entire article.
Men of today make no effort or very little effort to represent themselves in a positive light.
Why should they? When there's 7 women out there for every dude, he can afford to be picky, and he should. You know why? Because he fucking deserves it. Half a century is a long fucking time to walk this earth as a dude. It's not all, you know, champagne and rainbows. Because guess what? When he turns 18 to the time he retires or dies, he does not have the luxury of doing what he wants to do. He has to do what he has to do. Those are completely 2 different animals. And that is fucking hard on your body, it's hard on your mind, and it's hard on your motherfucking soul. How do I know this? Because I've fucking been there. This whole article is basically non-realistic analysis, man. It's more of this liberal feminism propaganda to make these middle-aged women look better, and then you feel sorry for them. Well, listen, if feminism can only give you pity and make you a victim for your entire goddamn life, perhaps you need to change your philosophy. Just saying. And maybe you should change that philosophy before you hit the fucking wall. Anyway, that's me for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed this. You have a good evening.